They told tour of records behind Mount Rushmore was sealed, that it was just a symbolic vault, a relic of Cold War paranoia. But on April 4, 2025, a group of 4 urban explorers live-streamed themselves breaking into it. Their names: Rhett Coleman, 27, amateur archaeologist Leah Sanchez, 25, true crime podcaster Mike and Jamie Park, twins, 22. TikTok ghost hunters. The stream was grainy, glitchy but real. They joked on camera, calling it Mount Spookmore. But at 11:17 p.m., the feed went black. The only thing left was an audio file, uploaded to Leah's podcast server by a scheduled bot. It was titled, Episode 19, Not Alone in the Stone. The first 40 seconds are just breathing and shuffling. Then, a voice, not theirs. You woke them. Then screams, not human ones. Something guttural. Stone dash, shaking. Park rangers found the explorers. Car abandoned at the trailhead the next morning. No bodies, no gear. Just a single handprint burned into the granite wall near the vault. And it was upside down. That same night, the entire mountain echoed with a sound no one could explain. Not thunder, not wind, it was chanting. In a language older than Lakota, older than English, and it came from inside the rock, inside the rock. 2 days finished, Ranger Dennis Klein went missing. He was last seen entering the restricted maintenance area behind Lincoln's Face, the one no ranger ever stayed in past sundown. He'd volunteered to check for structural issues after hearing what he called low-frequency whispers inside the mountain. His final radio transmission, recorded at 2:14 a.m., was choppy and filled with static. Echoing chamber behind the vault. But it's not empty. Something's carved here. Symbols moving. They move. Silence. Then, a bone-splitting shriek. Not Dennis, something else. Recovery teams found his flashlight at the base of a sealed stone slit behind Lincoln's profile. Something not listed on any official blueprint, carved beside it. In perfect symmetry was the same spiral eye symbol that had been burned into the granite wall days earlier. The carving bled, not metaphorically actual blood, dark and viscous, leaked from the grooves, pooling on the floor. When tested, it wasn't human. A week later, Leah Sanchez's phone reconnected to WI-FE. Only one file auto-uploaded to her podcast cloud, vault_1917.wav. When decrypted, the file played exactly 1 hour of distorted audio, but hidden inside were backward phrases that, when reversed, translated from an ancient Lakota dialect. Linguists could only decipher one chilling line. 4 voices entered. 1 will carry, 1 will feed, 2 will stay. The National Park Service closed Mount Rushmore for maintenance the following day. No reopening date was announced. On April 25, a Homeland Security Black Site team was quietly flown in from Nevada. Their mission: contain and assess the disturbance inside Mount Rushmore without alerting the public. By now, rumors were spreading online: encrypted leaks, shadowy videos, whispers on dark forums. But no one knew what was behind the sealed chamber until Agent Mira Beckett descended through a fissure newly opened behind Theodore Roosevelt's carved eye. What she found below was never meant for human eyes. Classified. Image log. Entry 031. Timestamp. 3:44 a.m. Beckett's body cam shows a natural cavern system spiraling downward. Walls lined in a strange black quartz that reflects no light. The space emits heat, though no source is visible at the base. A humanoid figure 12 feet tall, motionless, embedded halfway into the stone, like a mummified fossil. Its head resembles Roosevelt's butt, grotesquely elongated, as if sculpted. In agony, its jaw is dislocated, eternally open. From within, a low, continuous moan fills the air. Suddenly, the audio cuts, the footage corrupts. Beckett is heard gasping. There's another face, ... behind his. Oh God, there's a second face inside. The stone moving. watching me. That's the final record from her feed. A hidden letter, unearthed in a hidden drawer of the original 1930s construction schematics, was found in the old Rushmore archives. It was penned by Gutzon Borglum, the mountain sculptor, in looping cursive. It reads, "They wanted presidents, but I saw deeper. There was already a face in the mountain. I only shaped around it. The stone speaks at night. I carved Roosevelt last because that's where it sleeps, at 4:03 a.m. All lights inside the cavern extinguished simultaneously. Beckett never came back up, but something else did. The elevator returned on its own at sunrise, soaked in black fluid that smelled like copper and decay. A single handprint was left on the interior wall of the lift. It had 6 fingers. On April 5th, exactly 1 week after Leah Sanchez was declared missing, she walked out of the Black Hills National Forest, barefoot, pale, and silent. She was found wandering near Keystone, 6 miles from Mount Rushmore, wearing the same clothes. She vanished and her podcast recorder was fused to her left hand, melted plastic and flesh inseparable. She couldn't speak, but her eyes told another story. They were completely black. Not just her irises, everything. Medical report, April 16, 22/5. Dr. Elena Moores, Rapid City Regional Hospital. Leah's vitals are inconsistent with human biology. Her heart rate drops to 9 BPM during sleep. Her pupils do not respond to light. Blood work shows trace elements of mercury, ash, and something we've never classified before. She hums when no one's near. It's the same melody for notes. We found them etched into the bones of her left hand, carved from the inside. Leah didn't speak until day 3, and when she did, she didn't use her own voice. Audio transcript, patient interview. April 18, interviewer. Leah, do you remember what happened inside the mountain? Leah, in a male voice, distorted, aged. They never wanted to be disturbed. We were the 4th. The last face is not carved yet. He wakes beneath Roosevelt. The mouth is opening. That night, all 4 of Leah's podcast subscribers, still connected through a private feed, received a live update. A short, 13-second clip, autoplayed at 3:33 a.m. It was Leah, whispering, "We are inside you now. One voice is yours." Meanwhile, back at Mount Rushmore, the sealed slit behind Lincoln's face, where Ranger Dennis vanished, had grown wider. Something began crawling out. Footage from a night vision camera captured a long, pale limb, too jointed to be human, sliding across the floor like a serpent. A voice was heard, identical to Leah's. The mountain does not forget and does not forget. April 2025. Exactly 2 weeks after the first tremor, a classified order was issued from the Department of the Interior. Re-enter Vault OS-001, a top-secret chamber buried beneath Mount Rushmore, constructed in 1938 and sealed since 1941. Few outside intelligence circles knew the vault even existed. It wasn't part of any tourist map. It lay behind a hidden shaft beneath Lincoln's jawline, accessed by a 900-foot descent into solid granite. Historical note: OS-001 Vault. Designed by Gutzon Borglum himself. Not for documents or presidential secrets. Built around a natural cave system known by the Lakota as the Mouth of Stone Spirits. All original workers reportedly quit before its completion, citing hallucinations, night voices, and faces in the dust. A tactical team was sent in with drones and seismic monitors. Inside, the walls were slick with moisture and something darker, veins of black. Organic material pulsed like arteries in the rock. Drones recorded thousands of thin etchings, symbols that didn't match any known human language. One drone crashed when its sensors began repeating the same phrase: 4 heads, 1 mouth, IT opens. At the lowest level, the team found a stone basin empty above it, a hollowed cavity shaped like a headless human figure, arms outstretched. One soldier, Alvarez, whispered, "It's waiting for something, double quotes, before convulsing violently. He began screaming in Leah's voice. The fourth will fall. The last face will scream. Then, his body imploded inward, vanishing into the floor like he was swallowed by the stone itself. Outside, things grew worse. Tourists began reporting echoes inside their heads. Even in broad daylight, a child drew a crayon sketch of the mountain, not with 4 heads, but 5. The 5th head was mouthless, eyeless, and black dot. The child only said, "That one whispers, at night." That same evening, back in Rapid City Hospital, Leah Sanchez sat up in her bed. Her eyes were no longer black, they were stone gray, and etched in her tongue was a map, a spiral, descending deep beneath Mount Rushmore. April 25. A no-fly zone was imposed over Mount Rushmore. Locals within a 20-mile radius reported persistent migraines, bleeding from the ears, and sleepwalking toward the mountain, some barefoot, some carrying rocks or bones. Satellite imagery caught something no one could explain. A faint outline of 5th head was slowly emerging from the granite, not carved, but growing like a tumor on the far end of the monument. Its features were still vague, but it had no eyes, and its mouth was wide open, as if screaming silently into the sky. Inside Vault OS001, the final team sent inside the mountain was never officially named, but leaked audio surfaced 3 days later. Leah's map had led them to a lower crypt, previously hidden by a wall of petrified bone. They breached it at 2:14 a.m. Inside, a stone throne, and atop it, an ancient corpse humanoid, yet stretched unnaturally tall, its skull broken into 4 pieces, each shaped suspiciously like the for presidential faces above. But the mouth, the mouth on the corpse was missing entirely, etched into the stone above. Its head were 5 chilling words. The mouth was never silent. Final transmission, unmarked drone. As the last drone hovered toward the throne, the screen glitched violently, cycling through strange faces: Lincoln, Roosevelt, Leah, Alvarez, till it froze on a 5th face, made of screaming mouths. No eyes, no skin, a voice horribly layered and impossibly loud emitted through every listening device in the control room. "You gave us voice. You worshipped faces. Now, you shall speak our names." Then silence. All comes with the mountain were lost. Aftermath, May 2025, Leah Sanchez vanished from her hospital bed. The 5th head on the monument was later explained away as an erosion illusion. The ranger station at Mount Rushmore was permanently shut down. All evidence of OS001 was buried by federal order, but those who heard the voice still whisper, "He's inside the stone, inside us." And sometimes, when the wind shifts near Keystone, you'll hear 5 voices echoing from the mountain, each one trying to remember your name.